Welcome back to the final round here on Yahoo Finance. It has been a very, very busy last hour here for the program. We've gotten results from Facebook, from Amazon, from Alphabet, and from Apple here. Apple is in focus right now with shares up just around 5%, crossing above $400 a share. It was a huge quarter for the company. Revenue of $59.7 billion, double-digit growth in its products and services division. And also remember that this is a quarter that was pretty challenging for the company in respect to the coronavirus outbreak. Their business was disrupted during the quarter, yet they did post very, very strong numbers. We have Dan Howley now joining us for more on this. And Dan, when you take a look at these blowout numbers like the ones that we got from Apple and take into account the fact that they did see a little bit of a slowdown with coronavirus, it's extraordinary, I guess, to say the least, that we're getting these types of numbers from Apple at a time like this.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's most interesting is the fact that the products had year-over-year growth, significant year-over-year growth. iPhone grew, Mac grew, iPad grew. I mean, every category here grew. The percentage of the services that make up its revenue has also grown. The same quarter this time last year, they were at $11.45 billion. Now they're at 13.16. So obviously services, Apple continues to ramp that up. The iPhone performance is particularly striking considering that usually these quarters aren't as robust for Apple because we're going into the next sales cycle. This will be the following quarter. Q4 will be the last quarter under which we'll have numbers for this iPhone. You can expect the numbers to trail off there. Usually we'll see a little bit from Apple regarding the iPhone 12, if that does launch on time, which is usually in the September 12th timeframe. But it'll be interesting to see if that happens. I think really the services story here and the accessories story is the big one. iPhone obviously going to continue to do well, but the fact that it grew a little bit also pretty important for them.
Hey, Howley, one thing that I've been thinking about is, have we moved up all the back to school purchases? Like, did back to school purchases happen when everybody had to go into virtual school? So remember, Google had told us in the last quarter, and I don't have the details for this quarter yet, and we'll get more, Chromebook sales were up 400% year over year in March. We know that a lot of people made purchases while in lockdown. Do we think like the next quarter is going to be your typical, back to school, or have we just pulled all of this forward? I mean, it's a great beat, it's huge, but is the demand now out?
That's it's honestly a good question. I think for certain categories, yes. For others, no. The iPhone, that really is cyclical. So I don't think it's ever really been a school or back to school play. I think really that would fall to something like accessories, Mac and iPad. Mac and iPad did particularly well this quarter. Obviously, we had the new Macs rolling out. We saw newer iPads launched this year, and accessories are just going to continue to rock for them because, look, they're the only game in town with this when it comes to the watch, and the only game in town when it comes to their headphones in terms of quality. So I think that's really something that's going to continue to do well for them.
Yeah, and Howley, I mean, in addition to their hardware business, you mentioned their software, their services business before, but up 15% year over year. We know that Apple had laid out their target of $50 billion in services sales this year, and with growth like that, they are on track. Just how important and how big of a growth opportunity do you think services is for Apple, just at least in the short term?
I really do think that services is going to continue to be one of the main growth points for them. They really were, though, banking on Apple TV Plus being a kind of a gangbusters event for them, and it doesn't seem to have caught much traction, at least anecdotally from what I can tell. I don't know many people that are saying they've subscribed to Apple TV Plus outside of their 1-year subscription after purchasing their devices. Really, the only show on there that I think people were excited for was Morning Show. Nothing else that I can see is really driving people. Netflix continues to be the monster. Disney Plus, a monster. Peacock doing well with downloads there already, but Apple TV Plus not really hitting it, although they do have Apple Music. They do have the App Store. Don't forget, lumped in with services is Apple Care. So I think they're going to continue to grow there, and that's really their strategy. Obviously, we talked about this before. The kind of crutch that they had as the iPhone as that continues to wane, I think it'll be more of an evenly dispersed company with revenue coming in from all quarters rather than just from the iPhone. It's a silly proposition to think that one category will take over, though. I think the idea that services or accessories is going to be the one shining point for Apple just doesn't make sense. It's more of a brand kind of growing across all areas where you have the accessories, the services, and then yes, the iPhone, and yes, we'll continue to see Mac and iPad do well. So I wouldn't look for one particular section to be really the I guess big sprout for it.
Yeah, I think that's what we've heard from a number of analysts here over the last couple of weeks, just the fact that both segments of the business are extremely important for Apple here going forward. It's not an either or type of scenario. But again, Apple shares getting a big boost here, over $400 in after hours trading.